can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know where you're tuning in from as well. Let me know where you're coming in from. I've got people on Facebook here as well. And I got people. Jay, why are you on both? Jay, stay in one place. Facebook people, where you tuning in from? Let me know where you're tuning in from. On YouTube, I got healthy eating. I didn't do that. I just had Chinese food today. It wasn't healthy eating. But from Sacramento, hi, Leonardo. Yeah, I wasn't healthy eating today. It was all Joey's fault. Joey is back, y'all. Say hi to Joey. Say hi to Joey. Joey was away at a conference learning some stuff. And so he's back. Ninja says, glad to see you, Glenn, from Houston, Texas. Glad to have you here, Ninja. Arizona, Roger, my son, now is officially working for ASML in Arizona, which is hooked up with Taiwan Semi. So he is now officially in Arizona. That's awesome. So happy for him. I'm so happy for him. So I see the people here on YouTube. I'm looking for my people on Facebook to tell me where they're tuning in from. They're just here. They're just here. It's okay. It's all right. Great to have him, says Roger. I think he's going to love it there. I think he's going to love it. It is hot, though, in Arizona. Audio is low. Can I do something about that? I can. How about if I just do this? All right. I just made it louder than what? If you still think it's low, you better check your ears, Steve. All right. It's, you know something, I'm tired of hearing about that dry heat. Heat is heat. Heat is hot. Whether it's dry or humid, it's hot. What do you think, Joey? Joey was just in Las Vegas. How hot was it there, Joey?
It was like 95.
It was like 95 in Las Vegas.
95.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's dry heat, though. It's different.
Whatever. Joey is saying the same thing. Joey says it's dry heat. It's a little different.
It doesn't take your breath away when you walk outside like
if
it does
it's
here.
dry heat, man, it's cooking your lungs.
That humidity just gets you here.
Yeah, the humidity is not good, but that dry heat, I don't know. Audio good in Scotland. Julie is tuning in from Scotland. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I'm still waiting for my Facebook people. There we go. Alex on Facebook is in Texas, Mission, Texas, South Texas Mission. All right, so I can play golf at 104, even 111, but in Houston, even 97 is much when the humidity is in the 90s. Listen, I'm not playing golf and nobody's hot like that. All right, Alex says, I'm the one who told you to hit Patrick. I'm Fernando. Oh, you missed that. Oh, man, yesterday, Joey, I almost went across to Patrick's office and hit him. I almost did. It didn't happen, though. Didn't happen. Eton is here from Israel. Thank you for being here. Miss McClintock says, prefer dry heat over heat and humidity. I hear that. All right, so today is going to be an interesting Trending Thursday, because I was looking and trying to present something to you today for what was trending higher. And over the last couple of weeks, it's been tough to try to find stuff that's trending higher. Even though the market is up today, which we'll talk about, it's just been tough. So today I'm going to have a little bit of an open forum. I talked about this in the Jockey Club this morning, that I was going to have like a town hall session here where we're going to talk about some of the hottest topics in the market. And as a group, I'm trying to get your feedback. I want to hear what you guys feel about all of this stuff. So we're going to do that today. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please do so. Oh, man, you know what I didn't do today, Joey? If you look at the viewers, you can tell what I didn't do. Huh?
Alert.
Yeah, I didn't do an alert. You want to do? Can you do an alert real fast? Can you do it?
Yeah, I can.
All right, do an alert. And put that, we're going to have a little bit of a town hall today. I can't forget. With everything else that I didn't do an alert, so I apologize for that, folks. But Joey's going to do an alert to get all those other people who I missed in here as well. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, by all means, do hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you'll be alerted to when new live streams or videos come out. And if you like the commentary, by all means, hit the like button as well. One last thing I do, and once I get a whole bunch of people in here, once Joey sets that alert and gets a whole lot of people in here, excuse me, I want you guys to share the link. I don't want you to do it yet. I don't want you to do it yet. Jay says, jumped into TQQQ today to the upside. Why you stopped at India? What do you mean why I stopped in India? Why did we stop VectorVest India? Is that what you're asking? And if that's the question, the big reason why is because we didn't have a lot of people who were interested in India. We had the product. And then the people that were there just slowly but surely went away, and then it was costing. So we decided not to keep it. It was there for them. It was there for the Indian market. We tracked the Indian market, and the Indian market pretty much told us they didn't want us. That's why. That's the whole reason why. So we would have kept it if the support was there, but it just wasn't. So we made the business decision to not keep it from that perspective. All right, so good question, and that's the best honest answer that I can give to you. All right, so again, if you are brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit the like button, and even if they're not here yet, because the number of people will pop up in a minute. Share this link, share this live link with people on your social circles. All right, so we are going to have a little bit of a free-flowing open forum today. Mr. McClintock said, Roger, surprise, it's so hot here. Only 63 right now. Something, what is it? It's 72 degrees here in Charlotte. It was a little chilly this morning, but it's warming up. All right, so let's do this. Let's talk about that. How many of you are okay with doing a little bit of an open forum today? Just type a 1 in the room. Both on YouTube and on Facebook, type a 1 in the room if you're okay with that. This was an idea that I came up with this morning in the Jockey Club because, there's so much going on. There's so much going on, and I would love to have some commentary with you guys on a lot of different things. All right, so today is a day to do that. All right, as you can see right now, the market, everything is up. Today could have been that bottom fishing day with all of the major indices up. I didn't pull the trigger this morning from a bottom fishing perspective, but I may have to after looking at this big move in the market after Trending Thursday. I may actually go into our portfolio this afternoon for the Jockey Club and pull the trigger because everything is up bigly. All right, so we'll see what happens. Are you going to unmute Jay? If so, yes. I can't unmute any of you. All of you are unmuted. Y'all can all talk, but it don't come through. How about that? I don't mute none of y'all. So let's talk about everything up except for Boyle. We're going to talk about Boyle today. J.M. Mejia. We're going to talk about that. Let's go start talking about some of the news that I got for you. All right, we'll start that way. Let's go start talking about some of the news stories. And what do you think the two biggest things are moving the market right now? What are the two biggest things that are on everybody's minds? Let's start from that. All right, What do you think, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Facebook, what do you think are the top two things? I see it, Joey. Way to go. Thank you, sir. What do you think are the top two things that are moving markets right now? War and inflation. All right. I think one of them, I don't think the war is news, but I don't think it's moving the markets. In my opinion, Twitter and inflation, oil, interest rates, oversold markets, Ukraine and inflation, what's for dinner? Of course, Jay, I just was telling Joey, I can't stop eating. I've just been hungry. Earnings, inflation, the Fed, stagflation, war. All right, so let me give you what my two things are that are moving the market. And you know something, Marty? I'm not even saying it's COVID anymore. There was a time where I would say that. I think that it's not even COVID anymore. Brian, I'm in line with you. Inflation and fear, that's huge. Fear of recession, that's huge. Inflation and interest rates, Sue, that's what I've got. I still think that the two biggest things that are moving the markets right now outside of the war, all right, I think the war is news and everybody's got their ear to the grindstone or their nose to the grindstone, they're listening. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a big issue. It's a problem. It's affecting us in that we're sending a lot of money in way of support over to Ukraine. I was saying to Todd yesterday, I was like, yo, how much money are we going to send over there? When does it get to a point? All right, this is a good question. When does it get to a point where it starts to affect our ability and our arms? Think about that. Think about that. Because Todd was yelling across from me in his office. He was like, we can't make any more new Stinger missiles. That'll be a problem. That's going to be a problem. When is freedom too expensive? How much is your liberty worth? Ooh, I hear that. And I think that that's going to an extreme, Ninja. All right, because there could be a cost to us at some point in time if we send and send and send, and because of shortages, we can't replace. Does that make me the bad guy because I'm starting to be fiscally responsible with my arms? And again, that's what today is going to be about. That's what today is going to be about. There's a lot of things that are out there, and I want to know what your commentary is. And, I hear you, Ninja, what's the price on freedom? I hear that. But when you're in a situation where because of the war, because of this, because of that, because of the bottlenecks at all of these ports across the country, across the world, and it makes it tough for you to replace a lot of the things that you're giving out, what does that do? I'm just curious. All right. So there's not a right answer and there's not a wrong answer, and you guys ain't gonna argue. This is a place where we can discuss a lot of the things that nobody else is talking about. All right. I don't think there's any other YouTubers out there having a conversation with their subscribers like this. All right. This is why today, if you haven't already, today is the day that I really want you to share this live stream with people in your social circles. All right. I want to know. I want other people to get this kind of information because sometimes I think it's important. I know people are on YouTube to tell you, hey, go buy this stock because it's going to do this. You go, okay. But sometimes let's talk. Let's sit down and talk about some of the things that are affecting all of our portfolios, whether in a good way or a bad way. Agree people should have open and free discussion, part of freedom of speech. I hear you. But again, you know me, I'm not going to make this political. But this is why we can't get materials to replace the weapons we've sent to Ukraine, and we may need them soon. And thus the reason why I'm bringing that up is conversation. Let's talk over a cup of coffee. Kirby, I'm going to use that story today that you sent me in my email because I think it fits into one of my topics for today. Are interest rates hurting tech? Well, interest rates are going to hurt everybody. Interest rates are going to hurt all companies, not just tech, but everybody. Because you notice that a lot of people, especially in the airlines right now that reported good earnings from the first quarter, but they anticipate that it's going to go higher, even at higher costs. So, Maria, I'm thinking that interest rates are going to hurt. Inflation. I'm getting them mixed up. Interest rates are going to hurt everybody because as interest rates goes up, it's going to make it harder for people to borrow money. And borrowing money is an integral part of how people do business. You think that Elon Musk was able to go and get all that money? Half of that money was out of his own pocket, but the other half he had to borrow. He had to finance. Right, Maria? What happens if interest rates go up? When he goes to pay back that money, he's going to have to pay back at a higher rate. It's going to take more money. He's going to pay at a higher interest rate. It takes more money out of his pocket. So, yeah, I think it's going to hurt everybody overall. I think it's going to hurt. Glenn, do we go bottom fishing or wait for follow through? I can go bottom fishing today looking at what's going on in the market. Everything is up bigly. I could have pulled the trigger before trending Thursday. I may wait until tomorrow. I seriously could do it today, depending on what the market looks like for the rest of the day. I might be able to do it today. Interest rates hurt high PE stocks more. When you say high, you talk about overvalued stocks, Lee. You talk about overvalued stocks. And the answer to that is, yeah, overvalued stocks are going to get hurt more because they're trading so far over their value in the first place. All right, so my question, you guys answered my question. Where's my Facebook people? What happened to my Facebook chat? Holy smokes, what just happened? I just lost my chat, Joey. I got the live part of it, but I don't know where the chat went. Sigh. All right. No, that's on my side. I hit some kind of stupid button on my side. I did an old people thing. Let's go find. Huh? Oh, no. I'm not going to take that away. I'm going to leave that up there. Go find it on my phone again. There it is. And now I can see the chat again. I can see I hit some kind of button on my phone. Big red and green candles. Watch out. I hear you, Robert, on Facebook. I hear you. All right. So let me get into the news. All right. Big story. Fed racing to raise rates. Again, interest rates. But how high it remains is an open bid. And this is where I think is starting to push the market down. Now, we got a rebound today. Well, we got a rebound today. A couple of things that happened. The market's been beaten down like heck. Number one, people are seeing bloods in the street. Number two, people are seeing this as a buying opportunity. Number three, and according to the VectorVest software, we've been looking for a bottom for the past almost week. Number four. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things brewing for the market to start bouncing up. All right. Could this be the blast off day? It could be by the big move in the market today. But I think that this is a factor that's keeping the market where it is or pushing down. People are fearful, I still think, because there's ambiguity as to how much the Fed is going to raise interest rates and for how long. Glenn, do you think today is a blast-off day? Carl, it looks like right now it is. It looks like right when we get into the software, I'm going to take a deeper look into that. Should I buy crypto? And if yes, what to buy now? We'll take a look. Crypto is part of one of my stories today. Why is Twitter trading at $49 when they got a cash offer of $54? Anyone know? I'm thinking that a lot of people are getting out of the stock right now, and they're going to wait, and it's going to close out at the $54.20. All right, they know that even if it goes up higher than that, than $54.20, they're not getting any more than that, Roger. So right now it's like a lame duck just sitting there. All right. When the deal is final in about 6 months, when everything is good to go, the price will be paid out for Twitter at $54.20. And everybody knows that if you had the stock, that's all you're going to get. All right. That's all you're going to get. All right. So that's, I think, is an important cog as to what's going on in the market. What did I say one of the factors were to look for in regards to a recession? Anybody remember in watching a recession on the horizon? The video that I just put out not too long ago? What was one of the main things that I was looking for to let us know that a recession was here? Anybody want to venture an answer? Anybody want to venture an answer? I'm going to do the Jeopardy song. Boom, boom. All right. One of the things I was looking for is for GDP to go down for 2 quarters. That is, now John puts it up after I said it. But I'm looking for GDP to go down for 2 quarters. All right. Well, could this be 1 quarter? GDP falls 1 quarter, 1.4% as the economy shrinks for the first time since early in pandemic. That's big news. That's the onset. You know, Jim Penn and I were having a conversation about if the Fed is still raising interest rates going into the summer, we're in trouble. The Fed's got to do what it's got to do in order to get that inflation down, right? So there's an inflation story. So now we talked about an interest story. We talked about inflation story. A lot of people have been asking me, what's up with gold? It's going down. It's going down. If you're a VectorVest subscriber, we talk about gold every Monday in our timing section. So you can keep an understanding of when you know when it's the right time to buy into gold. All right. Let's go into one. This is big. Russia cuts gas to Poland and Bulgaria as mysterious explosions rock Moldova. That's a big thing. Recently, I did a story on LNG, liquefied natural gas. We got contracts with the EU to start pumping that out. All right, to get them to the EU so they didn't have to worry about it. But Russia says, all right, fine. You don't want to pay for our energy in rubles? We're going to shut you down. And they did. All right, do you like uranium as a form of energy stocks? I do, but my uranium stocks are getting beat right now. A lot of commodity stocks are getting beat, but some commodities are moving. We're going to talk about that as well. All right. Why is my picture on here is as part of my mouse? I don't know how that happens. Anyway, let me clear that. All right, let's get back into the software. Let's get into the software. Let's talk about some of the stocks that I got up here that I'm going to take a look at. In here, I always have my list sorted by VST, so the stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing will be at top of the list. Look at that. Look at where natural gas is. Natural gas is in here, even as an ETF, with the best combination of value, safety, and timing. And a lot of it is all about timing. Gas is in a world of its own. It either goes or it doesn't. Right behind it is the ETF, my other ETF, Boyle. Question comes up is, do I hold it right now? Let me tell you something. As a gas play, I'm not looking at gas as a long-term play. Gas is up for a couple of days really big, down for a couple of days really big. I'm going to take a look at those real quick. All right, let's go take a look at those. Those will bounce all over the place. These will move more than the gyrations of Elvis Presley's hips. It can do that. You can see there's a lot of times where it does gap. Big gap down. Then it goes down. But notice that for the most part, anybody who's asking me in regards to UNG, it does a good job as long as you can sit on an end-of-day basis and look at something like a 20-day exponential moving average. You know that there's going to be volatility involved. As long as you're okay with that and you can play, as long as it stays above, you're going to be fine. All right, you're going to be fine. Kirby says, Boyle holding and playing the 3 and the 8. I can change this graph layout to reflect Glenn. Where's Glenn trade? There's my 3 and the 8. 3 and the 8 on something that moves as much as it can, like here, will get you in and out too fast. But as long as you're willing to play it, because here, one day it went down below. I get out. Next day, next couple of days, it's up. And now watch it again. It's a volatile play most recently. But prior to this most recent move, that was a steady mover up. Steady mover up. All right, let's go look at Boyle. All right, there's Boyle. Same, looks just like it. Looks just like it. Steady mover up, and right now a little bit of topsy-turviosity going on. Currently, U.S. does not have embargo on any uranium, so purchases still from RU and Kazakhstan are legal and cheap. In 2019, Kazakhstan produced 43% of the world's uranium. That's a lot of uranium. And again, I think that it's a very popular or very needed substance, especially if you're looking at getting into building nuclear power plants. Uranium you need it. And I did a video showing how many reactors are online, how many power plants are online, how many of them are even being planned to be built. There's been an increase of people in countries wanting to increase the amount of nuclear power plants they have or reactors they have because it's a way of creating clean energy. All right. What else do I want to look at in this list? I want to look at our main indicators that we look at for timing the market. There's the VVC and the SPY. Let's go view the stock graph on them. So these are the markets. Let's go put these on a 3-month graph. Markets falling. So I've been asked, is today a blast off day? I see a nice big gap up, but I also see a big wick at the bottom that tells me there's a lot of buying pressure. Open candle, no wick at the top, which means that we're currently at today's highs. If I don't pull the trigger after the trending Thursday today, I probably will tomorrow morning in the Jockey Club. This could be blast off day. How do you know when the market stops going, when the market bottoms? When it stops going down and it starts going back up. All right. I'm going to keep on going. And for the SPY, the same thing. Nice open candle, big wick at the bottom, a lot of buying pressure. Neither one of them have the 3 and the 8 crossing end of day yet. But from a bottom fishing perspective, all I'm really looking for is a rebound off of the levels of the market, looking for a bottom to start rising back up. All right. So let's talk about what do you do with the stocks that you currently hold right now. With the market looking like this, and today, one day doesn't make a trend. One day doesn't make a trend. But what happens if the market pulls back down tomorrow? So what do you do in your portfolio? All I'm going to tell you is in the current market situation, you need to have some protective measures on your portfolio. Whether that's buying a protective put for your portfolio, collaring your portfolio, or something like that, you need to have some semblance of some optionable play, or if you don't play options, you probably want to look at Contra ETFs. Talking about options, all right, let me go back here. Talking about options, I want to talk to you about a course that we have coming up and a free webcast that's coming up on it. www.vectorvest.com/OP register. See if that worked. Yep. All right. How to generate 3% per month with one option trade per week. For those of you who know options, this could be a great way to learn how to generate income. For those of you who don't know options, this could be a good way for you to learn how to generate income. I'm going to put this into the chat in case you're interested. It's a free webcast. I can't do it. Unless Joey's doing it. Joey could be doing it. All right, he is. All right. So it's a great way for you to learn from an option perspective, especially in times like right now. Even if the market were rocking and rolling and going up, right? How about to still be able to generate income in another portion of your portfolio? 3% a month. What is that? 36% a year? 36% a year with one option trade a week? Think about that. That's huge. All right. And there is a webcast today at 4:30. Joey's going to put the link in there. Click it. I invite you to go to the free webcast today. I invite you to please go to the free webcast today. If you want 36% a year, that's huge. How many of you can honestly tell me that you generate in your trades 36% a year or more? All right, so I'm putting that out there. Ron Wheeler is an excellent coach in regards to that whole option space. He's really, really, really good. And all this is a free webcast for you guys to go to today at 4:30. All right, free webcast for you guys to go to today at 3:30. So, at 4:30. Click the link, and it's got everything that you need to. And Joey pinned it at the top. You go, Joey. Look at Joey doing all that stuff. He actually pinned it at the top. Joey put the link in the Facebook chat as well. I invite you guys. It's a free webcast. All right. So with that, let's talk about the next topic I have in my hand, Twitter. NASDAQ jumps 3% as strong tech earnings fueled Thursday's comeback. Patrick did a great video on Monday talking about all of the tech stocks that we're going to be reporting this week and how that could affect the market. Could that be the catalyst to a blast-off day today? Twitter reported earnings for the first quarter, blah, blah, blah. It could be one of its last as a public company because Elon Musk says he's going to take it private. But Twitter reports user bump, revenue miss for quarter one. They made $30 billion, but they were expected, was it Facebook or Twitter that was? Anyway, no, it was Facebook that made like $30 billion and missed it by $700 million. Why do we punish a company if they miss earnings by $700 million, but they made $30 billion in a quarter? I don't get that. I really don't. And then they get adversely affected and the stock's price goes down. I don't get that. I don't get that. Sigh, but maybe it's not for me to get. All right. Along with the Twitter, Twitter was starting to move Dogecoin. Why? Because that's his favorite cryptocurrency. And I did a video just talking about, could he make Dogecoin the crypto for Twitter? That could be huge. That could be huge. All right, so let's talk a little bit about that. All right, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's go into the software. Let's go look at Twitter. Let's go find Twitter, and let's go find my crypto stocks. What do I have in here as far as crypto stocks? I think I only put in an ETF, BITQ, to play the whole space. All right. Let's right click. Oh, no. What other, sorry. That's not my tech stocks yet. Let me right click. Let's view Twitter. Tweet, baby. Twitter. So they're locked into the price of $54.20. And the question is, well, why is the stock's price falling down? It is because it ain't going to get any higher. Even if it does get high, if it somehow trades higher than $54.20, that's the max cap on what people are going to be able to make for it. All right. Drew says, Drew and Ninja are talking. There you go. All right. There you go. So Twitter, for the most part, as the article said, this could be their last one as a public traded company. But this is what's important when I'm starting to look at possibly the move on cryptocurrency. Here's a cryptocurrency ETF. What's that candlestick pattern right there, folks? Talk to me. What is that candlestick pattern right there? I know you know it. Type it in the room. Type it in the room, because it could be setting up, baby. What's that candlestick pattern? The first one that gets it right gets a prize. Wow. Hammer time. Paul got it on Facebook. Nope. It was faster than you were, Raphael. Paul got it on Facebook. I don't know what the prize is. I'm going to have to come up with a prize. But there it is. That could be setting up right there. And that's an ETF. That's not even an actual cryptocurrency itself. So I personally own some Doge. I own some Shiba. I own some Bitcoin, all that stuff. But that's in a small portfolio sitting somewhere in a shoebox under my bed. It's not something that I watch every day. It's not something that I actively trade. I still think that crypto, especially from the metaverse perspective, is going to play a big role in our lives. Just hasn't happened yet, but I just did a video on it too, that there's a couple of companies out there that are allowing you to invest in an IRA crypto, a crypto IRA. That's crazy to get more and more people involved in crypto. Have a good day, Jay. Have a good day, Jay. Nope, it's not a bullish harami, Stephanie. That is definitely a hammer. Could be setting up. All right, what else is in there? That was it. I had Twitter and that. All right. I like the idea that crypto could be on the move. Lots of crypto stocks in the bottom fishing strategies here in Canada. And the stocks that we have in the software are primarily miners. All right, we don't track actual currency, just like we don't track foreign exchange. We don't track actual cryptocurrency. But a lot of the miners, in order for those coins to get to be coins, they've got to be mined. They got to be mined. Miners are going to be huge. But instead of trying to find a miner or trying to find a crypto itself, I like the idea of playing the ETF. Let's go back into my stories. Let's see what else I got going on. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. How about tech stocks rise ahead of Apple and Amazon earnings? Now, if you own Apple, if you own Amazon prior to earnings, I think that both companies are highly poised to meet or exceed earnings. The other side of the fence is going to be forward guidance. And what we're starting to see when a lot of companies are coming out right now, they are hitting earnings, but the forward guidance is not as promising. That's what's hurting a lot of stocks right now, helping to push the market down as well. That's another thing, pushing stocks down. As interest rates rise, it's going to affect companies' bottom lines. Companies will start missing earnings coming into quarter 3 and quarter 4. Watch and believe. You're also going to see a lot of stock splits for people to get in. They're going to want to get new blood into a stock, especially if their stock price isn't high. Watch M&As. A lot of companies that are smaller that are struggling right now are going to struggle more as interest rates go up. All right? Watch buybacks. Companies are still going to be able to buy back stock to help their bottom lines. Companies are going to pull all of the stops, all of the tricks out of the hat to stay in the black as interest rates are rising until they can't. And until they can't, and they start to miss earnings, and they can't write it off, and they can write off, but they can't take the protective measures like any of the three that I just said. That's another reason why a recession might happen. Now, Robert said Head and Shoulders. On which one? Head and Shoulders on which? What were you talking about, Robert? I know you may be a little behind me. Fidelity 401k will soon allow crypto. I did that story, Robert. Alta Coin or Alta IRA is another one. There's a couple of stocks. There's a couple of IRA type scenarios where you can invest in crypto. It's for those of you who may turn your nose up to crypto because it's blah blah, it's becoming a reality and people are starting to get into it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's happening and you can't stop it. All right, you ain't gonna be able to stop it. And when 401ks and IRAs start to get involved, you can't stop it. It's a train that just can't stop. All right. My tech stocks. Let's go take a look at my tech stocks. Tech stocks. Apple, Facebook. Nice move up on Facebook today. Microsoft. What else is in here? Amazon. Those are my tech stocks. All right. And tech stocks have been having a little bit of a beatdown recently, right? Can you smell what the market is cooking? That was my rock impression. Did you see my eyebrow go up? Yeah, that was my rock impression. All right, but was that good? Type of 1 if that was a good impression. Joey, did you see it? Were you looking at my rock impression, Joey? Probably not. All right, so I guess I have to do crickets. Raphael said 2, so I guess it wasn't good. All right, well, at least I tried. And I just wanted an honest opinion. John said it was good. But Raphael said no. Nobody on Facebook cares. All right. Crypto looks like .com bubble. No substance there. I don't think that there's no substance, Robert, on Facebook. I think that there's a lot of people dipping their toe into that space. And I think that when the metaverse gets to a point where it's really, really, really real, how are you going to make transactions in the metaverse? You're going to have the only way you're going to be able to do it is by way of crypto. The only way you're going to be able to do it is by way of crypto. Mike says, should we discuss the weather again? What? I wasn't even talking about the weather. Sorry, missed it. Checking on the People's Convoy heading into Olympia. There you go. All right. But nice move on Apple. Nice gap up. And earnings still is not until after the market closed today, right? All right. Next one. Look at that. Facebook. Nice move up on Facebook. We were telling you guys to be careful with it. It could have looked a lot like Netflix, except for they did beat earnings and they did jump up. And somebody said that we were clowns. Somebody called us clowns and we called it that it could be Netflix. What I did say is that it looked a lot like it, right? In that space, sell recommendation. Last earnings, it fell. This earnings, it didn't. This earnings, it rose. So I guess maybe we are clowns. Somebody called us a clown yesterday. Facebook has some nice volume today, and it does. It really does. So there's conviction to the move to the upside. What other tech stock do I have in here? Microsoft, they beat earnings. Look at that run up as well. All right, so that's a good, these tech stocks are starting to come out of the doldrums. As you look at all of them were in the doldrums. They were. And now with earnings, they're getting out of the doldrums. That's a good thing. Amazon, they also report later today, but look at the nice up candle today coming off a level of support. So my tech stocks, some of the bigger tech stocks look good. Microsoft had already reported. These stocks look sort of kind of good. Sorry, I missed it. I like the move on Facebook, but now there's a big gap in the price. Well, hopefully it doesn't fade the gap to the downside. It might though. It might though. So when I'm looking at, what do you guys think about the tech stocks? What do you feel about the tech stocks? They've been beat. Do you want to still hold them? I still think that the majority of the tech stocks that you look at have good upside potentials. If I go back into the software, highlight these again. Actually, just look at them. Relative value on Meta. Look at that. 1.47. On Apple, 1.33. On Microsoft, 1.25. On Amazon, 1.07. All of these have good upsides. And all of the earnings per shares or the relative safeties are above 1. All 4 of these stocks are fundamentally sound. All 4 of those stocks are fundamentally sound. That's what you're looking for. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. All right. What else is in my world of what's going on? Jobs. Jobless claims fell last week amid tight labor. All right. That's a good thing. But you know something? That varies from week to week too. 1 week it's good, 1 week it's not good. 1 week it's good, 1 week. So there's no real sustainability in the number, whether it's rising or falling. It's back and forth. But this is important. How about this? 64% of workers would consider quitting if asked to return to the office full time. Well, because of COVID, are we now permanently adopting a work from home scenario? Type of 1 in the room is that you think that. Type of 2 in the room if you don't. That's a very important question because I think that even now when people are looking for jobs, one of the things that they want to know for sure is, can I work from home? And if you tell them, well, no, this is a working office, they won't even come back even if you ask them back for a second interview. It's very interesting. So now, do you think? Listen, John, I don't think that that's the case, and I'm not going to categorize people. So I won't even put that up. I'm not going to categorize people. I got another question to ask. What do these people do if they quit and they stay at home? What are they going to do? Let me hear what you got to say about that. What do these people do to pay their bills? What do they do what do these people do to pay their bills? And David is right. Daycare is playing a huge part of working from home. It is. I was watching in my local news. My local news was showing how daycare or after-school programs were going up exponentially. Not a little bit, but exponentially. Now, Bill, we're not going down that path. Bill, I love all of y'all, but we're not going down that path. Uber and Lyft are other side gigs which watch Trending Thursdays. Wow. Uber and I want to know. And I'm listening to the answers. I'm trying to find somebody to give me a real good answer on how people can justify not going back to work because they don't want to go back to an office. I'm curious to know. Inflation makes it worse. I don't disagree with that, Javier. I don't disagree with that. But what do we do? And if a person stays at home because they've got to watch their kids, hopefully it's a two-person family, 2 grown people, a husband and a wife working. It's tough. They make money from VectorVest. OnlyFans, really, Ryan? Really, Ryan? Switching jobs pays more. Real wages down, adjusted to inflation. Real wages are down compared to inflation, but wages are higher than they've been in the last a lot of years. Wages are higher, but because inflation is so high, wages are not keeping up with inflation. Thus, we have the issue. Government needs to stop giving away money. Bill, again, I don't want to do the political side, but I got to bring that into the fray. I agree with that. I agree with that. We do have to stop giving away so much money. I don't disagree with that. Look for another online job. Are there a lot of online jobs out there that are worth it for you to take? Are you going to tell me that that's the case, Ron? That there's a lot of online jobs that people, are going to take? Wages aren't keeping up with rent increases as well. All right, so if wages are not keeping up with all of these things, how do people afford to not work? How do people afford to not work? All right? You gotta do something. All right? This is why this is a town hall. I'm trying to listen to some of what everybody out there's got to say. That's exactly why this is a town hall. And I don't know about what other YouTubers are out there doing this kind of thing. And this is a great time to do this. All right? Traveling to work is too expensive. Why? Because gas is expensive. Right, John? Because gas is too expensive. Sell calls and puts. I don't disagree with that. Government is hiring a lot. Yeah, I worked for the government as a Marine. We didn't get paid a lot of money. You know something? Years after I got out of the Marine Corps, I realized that I was getting paid at a poverty level rate, and I'm out there putting my life on the line for my country. I was getting paid below poverty. Now, granted, I didn't have to worry about rent. I didn't have to worry about food. I didn't have to worry about clothes outside of my own personal clothes. But I didn't have to worry about any of the main things that people in the world have to do. All right? They can't sponge off mom and dad. Listen, that's if, between my wife and I, we got 6 kids. Do they ask for help every so often? Absolutely. Nobody sponges, though. I mean, you say to anybody sponging, that's up to you as a parent. And that's my own personal opinion. That's up to you as a parent. Do we help our kids? Absolutely. All right. I think as a parent, you got to do that. You got to do that. Online jobs work if the trade-off is good for that particular individual. I got you. A real town hall would have Joey participating more. That's on Joey. Joey's in the background. He's doing stuff. All right. So that's a job thing. And I don't think we talk enough about what's going on with jobs. I think that is an important thing to talk about. I don't think we talk about, because the job situation is real and it's a real struggle. I'm wondering, what do we do? If you keep raising wages to try to accommodate inflation? Well, how much are you willing to raise rates to? Remember that this is a capitalistic society. Companies are going to try to make as much money as they can, especially if they're publicly traded, right? It is what it is. All right, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about consumer demand. 1-800-Flowers share sank as retailer cuts outlook over waning consumer demand. Why? Well, something, I'm trying to cut back. Am I going to start buying flowers? Maybe I don't need to buy flowers. I can go to the local park and pick some flowers. That kind of thing. Think about that. Inflation is a son of a gun, folks. It really is. What else? Food prices are starting to go up. Food prices hit an all-time high as the cost of cereal and vegetable oils spike. Kirby sent me an email prior to Trending Thursday. Kirby is in the coffee business, all right? But he sent me this email. The frost in Brazil took place in July of last year and was very unexpected. Although not major in terms of history, it had similar crop impact in the last frost that took place in 2010. The market will take off based on what damage may have been done to the trees for 2022-2023 crop, and that's yet to be determined. Reports are starting to come in to say that we might be able to meet demand for 2023, but there's a definite shortfall for 2022. He also said that huge coffee price increases are nonstop. Some coffee roasters are increasing prices every 90 days versus them once a year. So coffee, a commodity, is running up. What else is a commodity is going up? How about, look at this, grains, corn, soybean is down today. Rice, spring wheat, soybeans, man, these are commodities that nobody talks about as well. I made some money. There's an ETF called WEAT, wheat. I made some money on that because Ukraine exports a lot of it. That's a major crop for them. People are going to be looking for it. Kirby says it takes 5 years after a coffee tree is planted to harvest the coffee cherries. Wow. Ron is saying that there's millions of unfilled jobs out there, but stimmy money has screwed everybody's heads up. You know something? You see the stories about the money that was stimulus money, what people did with it, and they didn't use it. They just spent it frivolously. I think that in every social outlet, where any time the government is giving out money, there's always going to be people who abuse the system. Always. And I am of the mindset, if we could garner or harness in all of the people who abuse the system, we could save trillions of dollars. Can I get an amen about that? Can I get an amen about that? If we could bring out all of the people, and I know it's not realistic, but if we could actually go and get all of the people who were cheating the system, we could save trillions of dollars. But we're going to always have people who are going to game the system. Right? And we can't, that's just the human nature. And that sucks. That just sucks. And we all get screwed over it. And I think that a lot of the social programs are good for people who need it. I'm going to look at it from that perspective. There's a lot of people out there that may not be as fortunate or as blessed as we are, and could be on dire situations where they need a social program to assist them. But then we got the people who are just jacked up and just going to look out for themselves, and it is what it is. Isn't gaming the system the American way? It shouldn't be, Reginald. It shouldn't be. Don't forget the government employees cheating. Everybody's cheating the system. Sorry to differ with you on this one, but European benefits are generous, and I can detect no significant abuses of their system. Ooh. That's another conversation for another time, because somebody's got to pay for that. They're not a capitalistic society. It's a socialistic society. Are they not? I don't like the idea of getting paid and getting rewarded for my input on what I do. I don't want to have to pay for everybody else. Dang it. Y'all making me take this political, and that's not what I'm trying to do. That is so not what I'm trying to do. Sigh. That's a voice, and because I'm talking a lot today, my voice is going. Holy smokes. I'm losing my voice a little bit today, but I think that this is some important stuff that's out there that we need to talk about as an investment society, because a lot of these things affect our portfolios, folks. A lot of David said, my wife retired from Social Security disability after 40 years, and it would be impossible to harness in the people who abuse the system. I believe that, but it's an idea that I got in my head, and I'm like, I wish we could. I wish we could. Jim says, you open a can of worms. Let's go back to trading. We're still in trading. We're still in trading, because everything that I've talked about goes along with a lot of the different things that affect our portfolios. All right. Amazon is going to split, VP. I think it's in June. Somebody help me out on that. When does wait a minute. Does Amazon split, or did they already split? That's a good question. Did Amazon split? There's Amazon. Let's right-click, view the stock graph. Let's go to 6 months. Let's go put on the splits. Let's go put a year. Are they going to split? There's 1 year. There's 5 years. They must be going to split. They didn't split yet. There we go. All right. Now, I moved, Greg. I moved. All right. So I think it's in June or something that they're going to split. Their stock's price is trading at almost $3,000. I think they're doing a 20-for-1 split or a 10-for-1 split, something like that, to get more new blood in here. let's not make a scapegoat of people who are. I'm not scapegoating them. I'm not at all healthy. It is the 20-1, June 3rd. Thank you, Chad. June 3rd, 20-1. All right, that's gonna get a lot of people into a stock that they know looks good. Maybe having an open forum might have been bad, but I thought that it was a good. At least it was a try to get people to talk about some of the things that are affecting your portfolios. All right. I didn't want it to get political, and unfortunately it did a little bit. But nonetheless, we did talk about a lot of topics. We did talk about a lot of topics of things that are affecting the market. If you agree with that type of one in the room, all right, even though it might have gone off kilter, at least type of one in the room, if we did talk about a lot of the things that are affecting the market and conversely could affect your portfolio. All right. Let me at least hear that. All right. Maybe I do this again, but you know something? I had all of the topics. That was my other scary part, was that what if I just had it fully open and we just talked about anything? I had all of the topics. I went through and found all of the topics that I thought were germane or most important in the market's conditions right now. All right, so snowflakes don't want to get political. Listen, I'm not a snowflake. Listen, don't go there. I don't want to get political because it causes problems. Everybody is entitled to what they feel and how they feel. All I wanted to talk about was the stuff that's going to affect your portfolios, the things that you could look at to keep your eyes on. That's what it was all about. It ain't got nothing to do about being political, even though it went that way. It wasn't about that. You know, when I look at things like people answering the people's questions about UNG and Boyle, I think that they're going to still have good days, but they're going to have bad days like today as well. These are more tradable than they are investable. Facebook did a good job on meeting or beating their earnings, even though the forecast wasn't great. But out of a lot of the other tech stocks that reported, they didn't go up like this. Apple reporting today. Microsoft. I got Contra ETFs. I'm gonna step back on the Contra ETFs though, because if the market is really looking for a bottom, today could be a blast-off phase, but we don't know that for absolutely sure. With that being said, I'd be careful with the Contras. I'm going to open them up because as the market was falling, these were doing good, right? Look at that. They were rocking and rolling. Big down day should be for all of them because we got a nice up day in the market. So am I going to still be on rail for you to go and get into these? The answer to that is no, not right now. No, not right now. All right. Is today a turnaround? Let's go back and look at the graph again on the market timing graph. Nice update today. I can't deny that. I got a feeling that the market could start rising tomorrow, even more. Today could have been a blast-off phase, and I say that because look at the major indices. Man, they're rocking. They're kicking butt and taking names. That's a lot of move. Today looks like a blast-off day. Especially, is one of them up 3%? I can't see. Yeah, it looks like the S&P 100 is up 3%. Today could be looked at as a blast-off day. All right, MTI is looking good. Can we get some follow-through tomorrow? We might. And again, I'm going to see that in the Jockey Club tomorrow. What is the next interest rate change to be announced? I think it's next week. Can anybody back me up on that? I think it's next week is the next rate increase. Somebody back me up on that? Kenneth says yes. So it's close. It's close. And I think that next week, after today and tomorrow possibly, watch, the market might be pulling back down prior to the interest rate increase because it's not going to know what to do. So, I got a couple of days. I probably got today. I probably got tomorrow. The market runs up. But I also know that I got the Fed mentioned next week. So, and I'm thinking a half point too, Kenneth. I'm thinking a half point this. Lee says GDP this quarter, first quarter down. Fed may not raise 75 basis points because of election year. They don't want the two quarters down. I put out a video, my video talking about inflation stocks. All right. Or if the recession was, and I did mention that the Fed, I don't know how political the Fed would be. Does the Fed know that, the Fed does know that there's an election this year. He may not want to turn over the apple cart and really jack up the inflation or jack up interest rates just quite yet. All right. David says, I think we have to at least wait for the primary wave to go up. Not if you're bottom fishing, David. That would be more confirmation. But on a day like today, David, today is probably a good blast off day. You go on the blast off day. You even get in before the primary wave up. Look at food expensive, 20%. Kenneth, I had the story up there about food. I did have the story up there about food. All right, so there's a lot of things that go on. Inflation, interest rates, natural gas, which I think is going to be a hot play. Energy stocks, I still think that they've got more move to the upside. I still think energy stocks have more move to the upside. Twitter could move crypto. Tech stocks are starting to move again. The job market, what's going on there, and consumer demand. So, and I also talked about coffee. Primary wave could be up tomorrow. Could be. No, it can't be. What's this? It can't be. It depends. It's got to be higher than it was 5 days ago. Let's just say we're up here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, we can. As long as we're higher than 59.31. Oh, yeah. But here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, as long as tomorrow's price, and we could do that. As long as tomorrow's price is higher than 59.31, we can have primary wave up tomorrow. All right, we can have primary wave up. We're at 58.98. We could take that out tomorrow. We can see. All right, folks, I'm done. Thank you for letting me have a little bit of a leeway with today's activity. I think that as a YouTuber, man, I wanted to talk about things that we don't always talk about. I think that it's important because a lot of these things that we don't always talk about are things that could affect our portfolios. All right. If you haven't hit the like button already, please do so, especially if you liked what we did as a little bit of a turnaround today, something different. That's all it was. It was something different. You have to confidence in yourself. You have to smell this stuff. Listen, we don't always. Who else out there talks about this stuff like this, Kenneth? I'm curious. I look at a lot of YouTubers out there. Who else puts themselves out there to interact with their crowd like this about the topics of the day? These are hot topics of the day. All right, these are not things that I know. Paul, I don't know what prize to give you. Paul came up with the hammer. I'm gonna create a prize. I might just send you a mug, Paul. Hey, Joey, I'm gonna send Paul a mug. Paul, send an email to. What is it, Joey? Connect at VectorVest.com. Paul Roberts, send an email to connect at VectorVest.com. I'm sending you a mug. I'm going to send you a mug, all right? So this is all about content. It's all about keeping you guys interested. It's all about making it worth your time to be here. That's all it's all about. And today was a little different, and we did it. Most of the lectures, none others in interactive that I found. So there we go. I don't want to lecture to you. I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk at you. I don't want to talk at you. I always want to talk to you. All right? Hit the like button, says Lee. I agree, Lee. Tell me to hit the like button, especially if it was worth it to you. All right, I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for indulging my desire to want to do something a little different. All right? Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Bom dia. And last but not least, Yasu. Until next time, folks. See ya.